Hey guys, welcome to the Davis Barnes Review Study Guide. I've not looked at the study guide. We're going to be going through it. I'll make annotations. We'll go through it. Watch this video at 2x speed. Get ready for the test. This will probably be the first video on like a rant thing. I don't know. We're gonna be talking about world history. All right, let's get into this. All right, so you can see I already made this annotation here. Can you even see that? What is going on with this? Oh, that's the wrong button. All right, let me make my face cam. There we go. All right, British economic imperialism. Imperialism, as we already checked here, you can see extending your power through force. For example, when they took over Africa. Money, as you can see written perfectly, money equals power and imperialism. All right, so yeah, that's basically all you need to know is that the British people had money and they decided that they were going to extend very far with the money. Pause. They were just going to take over a lot with the money because that's what people with money do. People with money take over, especially countries with money. Opium Wars. Not Opium, the record label, but China's decline was opium. Opium is a drug. Drugs are bad. You know why there was opium in China? Because of the British. The British decided that they were going to bring the opium to China, and they made a ton of money with this. Going back to the economic imperialism, they made a lot of money from this. All right, I don't know what this is. What are we doing here? The Treaty of Nanjing. I think this has to do with importing. A peace treaty that ended the first Opium War. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. So I mean, China paid the British and ceded the territory of Hong Kong and agreed to establish fair and reasonable tariffs. So tariffs on opium. Yeah, it was a peace treaty, which it ended the Opium War. Well, the first Opium War. There ends up being more Opium Wars. But we're basically just focusing on the first one, and this kind of this expanded their sphere of influence because they had so much influence on opium, the Opium Wars, because they were the reason the Opium Wars took place in the first place. As you can see here, causes here the British they had a high demand for tea, and you know who had tea? China had tea, and British people love tea, so you got to give them their tea. So China did have that tea for them. China had that tea for them. Yeah. So Europeans were not the nicest people. Not the nicest people towards indigenous people. So if anyone can think of an example, what's when people weren't nice to indigenous people? So you obviously think of Christopher Columbus and Thanksgiving and all that stuff. Ghost Dream, 1492 in a New World from Kanye, Middle East. They needed European help, obviously, because when you're poor and you're stuck like they were, they needed the European help. They needed the European help. You can see they needed it. They needed the European help. European help. But just because you need it doesn't mean they would appreciate or understand it. That's the kind of same. I need to go to school. I don't want to go to school. I understand why to a degree, but they probably don't to a degree. And then Darwinism. Charles. This is not Charles Darwin. I'm just said Darwin. Social Darwinism, for those who don't know, is Darwin's theory of evolution to justify social inequality. Basically saying that black people are less advanced than white people. I think one example was the black person's skull. I'm gonna get flagged for searching this. When they would basically say that this skull right here that you can see this skull, they basically said this was a black person's skull and that a white person's skull was this, to try to justify it, which you can't justify racism. This is a big part. You can't justify racism because there's nothing good to justify racism with. This is stupid. Okay, the white man's privilege, white man's burden is stupid. Which obviously we know. white man's brain is stupid. Social Darwinism is also stupid. That was, it's mostly just the need to be better than them in any way, and they are not. I mean, you're not better. You're not better than them. You're not going to be, and you can't use biology as that reason. Another reason was people are like, oh, they're less poorly educated, which I think is also a stupid reason. Anyway, moving on. After we got social Darwinism, just remember, this is stupid. This is just dumb and is not going to work. So nationalism. So nationalism is when you have a big sense of pride in your own country, which I think people should have nationalism to a degree. But as you can see, there's various results. So results are going to end up varying in something like this. The main thing is unification as well as separation. So, for example, when you have something as big as the Ottoman Empire, when you think about how big the Ottoman Empire was, you think about the Ottoman Empire. I mean, it was huge. The Ottoman Empire was, for lack of a better word, massive. And you have people from all different cultures in the Ottoman Empire. I mean, you have people who have Greeks, you have Turkish people. You got all these people that just don't really blend well together. So, for example, Greeks, they decided, hey, we are not like you. We are not Ottomans. We don't have a lot in common with Ottomans at all. And that's true. They had like nothing in common with the Ottomans, which is like, it's weird. So they were like, hey, look at us. We all are similar. So we all are going to come together and dip and form our own country. And that also goes vice versa when we talk about unification. You get like certain places in the Middle East. I think this was Middle East where this happened. Where they're like, hey, we're all similar. No, where was this? This was Italy. Italian people. They're like, hey, there's like multiple countries and where Italy was. And like, hey, we're all similar. We all have similar heritage. We all believe similar ideas. Why don't we come together? Which was a great idea. They did. They came together. Why does my camera keep doing that? It was a great idea. They came together and it worked, which I thought was, it is a great idea. So anyway, I started with stapling due to strong government leadership. Okay, nation building could be done through focus on it. So I talked about this with Italy. It's common cultural issue. I literally just talked about this. So check mark. It was also caused in colonies because of improved transportation and communication systems set up by imperialist colonizers. Yes. Colonies. Yeah, colonies meaning like colonies in Africa. And we know about the 13 colonies in the United States. When you have the improved communication and they can all talk to each other, they're kind of like, hey, we're all colonies. We can kind of do our own thing. This one's a little weird. I don't know what we're talking about. So self-strengthening movement in China. So proposing and adopting industrial technology combined with existing traditions such as Confucianism. So this was kind of a problem China faced during the Industrial Revolution. China didn't really want to industrialize as much because they had a lot of traditional beliefs. They were big in agriculture, big in just all this stuff, right? So they didn't really want to start changing. And I think that's fair. I think that's, people don't want to change their ways. However, they needed to because everyone else is into industrializing. You need money. People, you're going to get left behind if you don't. So you know what they did? They combined with ideas like Confucianism and it worked. And I think it did end up working. It did strengthen China. So definitely, we know the definition of nationalism, having pride in one's country. All right. So moving on from nationalism to industrialism. So this is pretty much like the most important part we're going to go over. Because industry is really this big turning point in the entire world. Because we're now really focused on the whole world, how the whole world's kind of modernizing rapidly. So there are downsides, though. There are always going to be downsides to everything that happens. Governments using their industrial power to expand their control and gather their empires. So that kind of goes back to imperialism, where they're expanding their control and gathering their empires because they have the industry and resources to do that now. And colonies or controlled colonies wind up controlling less and less of the world economy because they're so small. They're so minuscule compared to these giant countries just filled with just money that have industry and money. For example, the UK had all the coal and stuff like that. And the development of steam-powered industrial production, I mean, it aids in the economic strength of the United... Wow, my mic is peaking. I hope that doesn't show up in the video. In the United States and Europe. So, yeah. So, steam. Okay, steam engines. Whoa. Steam engines. Whoa. Steam. Step back. Steam engines are super important. I'm not talking about a train, like a steam engine train. I think that's related. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about an engine in general. A steam engine. The good part about this steam engine is it is really good at getting power, and we need power. So of course we're gonna do a really good job of getting that power if we have things like the steam engine, which means industry goes faster and we make more resources, and it's kind of just like an exponential curve until we have infinite resources and infinite money. Yeah. Anyway. So the reason factories developed in England, you need to know this. I was just talking about this. You need to know this. Coal and iron, rivers and canals, and a banking system. Oh, what are these? That's not what I meant to do. Oh, what are these three things? Number one, what coal and iron are. Resources, natural resources that, we need for industry. Rivers and canals, you're probably like, well, why were rivers and canals so important? Water. You need water for steam engines, and also that's good for transportation. And they had the East India Trade Company. So I think this is related to banking. So the East India Trade Company was basically their banking system. They had a bank. They had stocks. They had banks, and they were one of the first to do it. I'm pretty sure. There definitely have been instances of it happening before, but this is kind of the first big one. So I gotta switch camera back. So woman. Okay. So women's rights and women in general become very, very prominent in this unit, and especially next unit, leading up to the end of our course, which we end with 9/11. Right? So woman. Okay, they started getting more rights. They started getting more respect and more rights. While it wasn't perfect, it was a step in the right direction. From them only being seen as homemakers their entire generations, pretty much every society saw them that way. They were obviously hunters and gathering societies, didn't see them that way, and then other societies, it wasn't obviously always, they aren't always viewed that way, but they're majority of the time viewed that way. All right. So women in factories were able to work outside for home for the first time in a long time. Main reason for this in the United States especially was this is going to be a small side tangent, and you can skip this part, was mainly going to be World War II. World War II doesn't really come into play yet. In this particular instance, this isn't why, but this, in the future, World War II does have a big influence on this. In what we're learning right now, you don't need to know that World War II happens. You don't need to know that until after this test, when we go over the Holocaust and World War I and World War II and the genocides, a lot of stuff that happens later. But that was another cause of women being able to work in industry. That's not what this means here. This is mostly just laws and legal stuff. But yeah, they receive far less pay than men. This is not as prominent now. Equal pay has been resolved to a degree. There are obviously still going to be problems, but there's going to be problems with everything. But this created a huge population boom. As I was saying, if you look at, let's say, a population chart from Industrial Revolution. Look, so this is the Industrial Revolution. This wasn't the Industrial. What are they talking about? That's dumb. Look at this. This is better. I can't zoom in on this. This is stupid. Okay, I mean, you can kind of see here, look, the Industrial Revolution hits, bam, spike. Obviously, it kind of slowly goes up and rapidly increases after 2010. But, I mean, that's the main reason we had this population boom, is we could actually live now because we had, factories doing all this hard work. Industry and innovation were used to open up markets and resources for imperialist commercial interest. More money. I've said this in other videos. Humans want money. Everything, and I mean everything, relates back to humans are greedy creatures and naturally want money. There's not a single person, in my opinion, that would not at least be tempted by money. Money is the motivator, and it will be important throughout every unit. And it is important throughout every unit. But yeah, they were used to, this kind of, what are we doing? Yeah. Open up markets. Markets are good. Commercial interests are good. So there are a few ideas that came from this. Some I like and some I do not like. Adam Smith. So Adam Smith, I wonder if I can pull up a picture of him. I kind of want to show you what he looks like. I guess I'll just search him up because he's got a basic name. So this is Adam Smith. Oh goodness, what did they do? They did him dirty in that. Okay, this is a better. So he had a lot of ideas about the free market economy, the invisible hand. So what's the invisible hand? Well, this is the notion every man works for himself. No, that's not what that means. The invisible hand. This is probably not going to give me good Google results, is it? Okay, a metaphor in economics. Economics? Bro, what am I saying? Economics. Describe how self-interested individuals can intentionally benefit society as a whole. So you're trying to do all this good, but your good makes everyone else better, which makes sense. Adam Smith, not super revolutionary, but that is pretty good idea. Karl Marx. Marxism. We're going to talk about my stance on Marxism. Okay. Let's maybe define Marxism first, because I feel like maybe people need a refresher. So it's basically the philosophy. Can I just get the philosophy? It's a philosophy about economy that kind of talks about the social classes and kind of the conflict between the working class and capitalist class is a major force, and the capitalist is exploitive and should be placed by a more collective system. I don't really like that. We have to learn about him from a non-biased standpoint. I was just throwing in my 2 cents because, it's my video. I'm going to do what I want in my video. So his band, he just wanted to change the class system because, it kind of just started separating the classes. But he wanted to be comfortable with other main claims. I mean, he's kind of the bourgeoisie and the workers and desire for classless society. Classless societies don't work, I don't think. But I think it would be cool to try it out. I don't know. I'm just kind of spitting here. Hey, we're almost at the end. Okay. Revolution. So revolutions started happening a lot because, now that people have money, these colonies can actually revolt. And they're like, hey, we're not getting paid. Hey, we can do better. So coffee houses in the French Revolution, coffee houses. So places like basically old-timey Starbucks, I guess you could say. It was kind of a place for people to meet, exchange ideas, and make plans, which is, that's just social stuff, and social stuff has always been important throughout history. Robespierre's something, role in the Reign of Terror. Okay. What is the Reign of Terror, you may be asking? What is the Reign of Terror? Let's just say a lot of people got their heads cut off. French, they used the guillotine for so long. We don't see the end of them using the guillotine till next unit, and next unit leads up till the present. So, yeah, Reign of Terror, he cut off a lot of people's head just for disagreeing with the government, just doing all this stuff. And it was like, why are we doing this? Like, here, let me, let's look at the children. I made some children's book. I had to make a children's book for this class. We all had to make a children's book. We're going to look at my children's book if we can find it. We're going to read the book. Because this actually might help. Some understanding. Okay, so this is Raptopia. All right. So basically, you got the 3 groups. You got the church, the commoners, and the nobles. And the commoners made up most of the population. And these groups made up a small percent of the population but had a lot of money. Yeah, she was a foreigner. Yeah, Queen Antoinette was a foreigner. People don't really like her that much. But in America, all of the people had equal rights because, God, it's weird because I'm reading spitballing. All right, yeah, America people had equal rights, and that kind of spread that idea in France. So Robespierre, this is the main part. He took over France, and he was, the king when the violence broke out among the three groups. And this was the Reign of Terror when the guillotine, they cut off over 40,000 people's heads for pretty much anything, including the king and queen. We'll get to Napoleon in a minute. We'll come back to Napoleon. Yeah, but this was not good. And he basically just made everyone tattletales. He just made everyone snitches. Them snitch on each other based on stupid suspicions. People act out of fear. That's just true. I mean, I'm not a psychologist, but fear is the best way to unite people and get people to act. Will it make them want to do it together? No, but they will do it together. That is a given fact. 100% given fact. All right, moving on. I'll take it. In general, the Reign of Terror, freedom of speech was very limited during that. Okay, so the French Revolution, Haitian Revolution were set in motion by lower classes of people. Well, no doubt. No doubt, Miss Tripp. No doubt. Lower classes of people were being exploited and didn't like how they were being treated, so they revolted. The Latin American revolutions were led more by upper class citizens, which was mostly due to just kind of like systemic racism. And the American Revolution was also by upper class leaders, but that's because they were revolting. Okay. When it's a revolution within a country, that's where you see things like the French and Haitian Revolution, where these are lower class groups of people revolting. But when the case of the Americas, okay, it's the picture. America's here, Britain's here. They're going to revolt because they are so different than Britain. They don't want to be part of Britain. Britain's all the way over here. So of course, they're the only people that could revolt in this case are the higher class people, because they actually would be able to make an impact. But when you get like within a country, like let's say some people in America decided that they wanted to revolt, that wouldn't be usually a high wage class of people. It would be the lower class of people, and they would revolt. Does that make sense? This is more AP Human. No, it's not. This is more. I'm getting into the why, and we don't need to get into the why. We just need to get into know that they did this. And we just caused the American Revolution, the Stamp Act. Stamp Act was stupid. That's been proven. We are getting taxed on so much stuff that we need, and So relationship between the French and Haitian revolutions. As we said, they were both caused by, of course, we're going to search up that's really what I meant there. They're both caused by lower, class people. And the French Revolution was a catalyst for the Haitian Revolution. So if you don't know what catalyst is, how do you not? Here, what color light should we do? Blue. How much light is going to show up here? Blue. Wait, that actually looks sick. Red. No, red. Green. No, we're going blue. Sidetracked. Anyway. So it served as, it was a catalyst because, so the Declaration of the Rights of the Man and the Citizen inspired enslaved people in the French colony in Haiti to rise up and fight for their freedom, which was the biggest slave revolt. And even oh my God, this is interesting. Even when they cut the head off the snake, the head of the revolution, the body, all the other slaves still fought and still won, because you don't need one person to lead the revolution. One person leads the ideas, but if they die, the revolution's still going to be there. So I don't know what they were thinking when they were like, "Oh, we'll just kill them all, and then let's kill them off. Let's kill them off, and nothing will happen." Be familiar with Simon Bolivar's Jamaican letter. Okay, Simon Bolivar's Jamaican letter. What is Simon Bolivar's Jamaican letter? So it was kind of his desire for Latin America to be unified, because they're all so similar, and his vision of a republican government. and he used a lot of enlightenment ideas about natural rights, and the freedom of Creoles. And he was like, "Hey, we should revolt." Okay, migration. So migration comes with. Let's do a quick AP World. Let's go back to ninth grade AP World. AP Human Geography, and let's talk about push and pull factors. So push and pull factors are very important. So you can relate it to your everyday life. A pull factor and a push factor for going somewhere. What do you think that means? Obviously, a pull factor is factors that would make you want to go there. For example, America having a good economy at some times and having a lot of opportunities. But a push factor could be, in some other countries, bad education and racism and stuff like that. But that highly relates to migration, which is why people migrated. So, migration due to the expansion of empires, the loss and replacement of slave labor, and overpopulation, labor needs, and need for capital. So, these are push factors away from the place you're at because, when you need people overpopulation. I mean, overpopulation is a big push factor because there's not enough space, but labor needs is a pull factor because when they need jobs, hey, I'm going to go get a job. And you can see here it was not always voluntary. Long distance overseas migration workers, it was not always voluntary, and that's sad. People just got taken from their homes and migrated, which is sad, but that's the sad truth. So that's what happened. Okay. Back to AP Human Geography real quick. In Human Geography, we learned about ethnic enclaves. And you're probably like, oh, hey, what's an ethnic enclave? It's when you get a group of people who are all similar in ethnicity in a different place to, kind of all live together, which is what you get, especially in places like Little Italy and Little Mexico and little things, And there's even American ethnic enclaves in different places around the world. They're not as prominent, I would say. I'd say it's more prominent in different countries, but that still exists. Yeah, Little Mexico. Small cultural islands themselves whenever they move due to labor needs, Little Italy or Little Mexico. Abuse by Europeans on their colonies. This is bad because, so Belgians, what did they do in the Congo? They killed a lot of people. And they did a lot of bad things. Just know that. You need to know that. Europeans were, driven by financial interests. I said this. People are greedy. People want money. People are greedy. People want money. People will do stuff for money. Financial interests are, biggest interest people have. I swear, I knew this. I was right. I was always right. They disregarded indigenous lives. Oh my god. When they split up, sorry, I keep switching the camera. When they split up Africa, when they were just like, hey, here's Africa with all their, great culture and stuff, and there's so much great culture, just all their stuff, and then hey, we're just gonna, split it up, however we want. We don't care about the people who, live there. Who cares about the people that live there? Who cares? You can care less about the people that live there. We're just gonna divide it up based on how much money we think we can make, and boy, did they make money, because Africa has things like diamonds and labor and rubber and just all this stuff that people wanted. So miscellaneous. Miss Tripp says she's tired. I'm also tired. I don't want to really be. What's this video? Oh, 30 minutes. Only at 30 minutes. All right, we're taking a break. Hold on. No. Whoa. That scared me. Am I not supposed to do that? We're almost at 100. We're at 104, 107. Yeah, we're getting high. We're getting high speed. Oh, we're gonna hit 150. We're gonna hit 150. Oh shit. Oh no. Oh no. We might hit 150 here. Okay, get on road. Get on road. Get on road, bro. Please. We're on a bus now. Let's hit it. Come on, 150, 150. Come on. Looks like we're capping out at about 140. Oh, there's a wall. Oh god. Oh, I just phased through the wall. Oh. Oh, we're at 170. We're at 170. I didn't even notice. Alright, last thing. Be comfortable. Enlightenment, feminism, social Darwinism, abolitionism. Wow, these are all important words that don't mean anything at the same time. Feminism, not modern feminism. Women want rights. Women deserve rights. Let's give the woman the rights. Enlightenment, period of ideas where a lot of ideas kind of started spreading, and from those ideas, I keep saying ideas, new concepts were formed, and this is probably one of the best things that's happened. Social Darwinism, I talked about that. That's racism with extra steps. Abolitionism, I forgot what that word means because I'm not smart. Yeah, in slavery. Yeah, no slavery. Slavery is bad. As well as where they overlap. Yeah, people are feminists, but also heavily impacted by Enlightenment. Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff. I don't know who these people are, so we're fried. Japan's government created big changes to make Japan less vulnerable because, I mean, they were pretty old-timey, and then, they wanted to go see the Western methods and culture, and yeah, I mean, then they just kind of expanded from there when they expanded their education requirement. Matthew Perry kind of forced Japan to open its trade routes with the United States because, money. We all love money. And then Russia's very authoritarian. That's not good. We don't like when Russia's authoritarian. Russia just, I don't know. I don't think it does well. It doesn't do good when it's authoritarian. All right, thanks for watching the study guide. We'll post more for other tests and AP exam reviews and stuff. Maybe. I don't know. I don't like doing this. This is not fun. Just kidding. Goodbye, guys.